I like speed, I like motorsport. Dakar, it's like an addiction.
It's a race, it can be very, very hard.
It's a unique chance in my life, and I catch it and I will enjoy it.
In 1979, motorsport changed forever, all thanks to a navigational error. At a previous race, French motorcyclist Thierry Sabine got lost in the Sahara Desert. Fighting his way through sand dunes sparked an idea. He realized then that this was the true test of man and machine. A rally raid race from Europe to Africa was conceived, and the legend of the Paris-Dakar Rally was born. The popularity of the Dakar grew rapidly, but one particular era witnessed something truly inspiring. From 1987 to 1990, one name truly ruled the Rally Dakar. Others tried to challenge, but failed, hopelessly left trailing in the wake of the invincible animal that tore through the sand and stones, with a speed that no one could match. That animal feasted on success for 4 successive years, and now Peugeot returns to Dakar, and the lion is ready to roar again. In summer 2013, Peugeot Sport grabbed the motorsport world's attention with its record-breaking assault at the annual Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. Having joined forces with Red Bull and Total to smash the previous benchmark out of sight, this collaboration was the catalyst to move out into an even more ambitious challenge. To harness speed, but also add stamina. The ultimate endurance race, the Rally Dakar was next on the hit list. Central Paris is clogged with press as the modern-day pilots are unveiled to a procession of bulb flashes and questions. The ultimate driving lineup features 3 of Dakar's most illustrious names: Stefan Peter Hansel, Carlos Sainz, and Cyril Dupree. Team Peugeot Total's return to Dakar is big news.
Our decision to go back to Dakar is clearly linked to our victory last year at Pikes Peak. It was a great moment that we enjoyed there, and we clearly had the opportunity to prove to the world all the ability of the Peugeot Sport team. That moment we decided that we had to keep on improving and re-engaging more Peugeot Sport in competition, and we decided that wonderful project, Dakar.
Pas mal cette année, hein?
Peugeot is one of those manufacturers which always they have been in motorsport. I have never been competing with them. It's one of those companies I've been fighting many years. But from the outside, you always see they have the passion for motorsport, and when they decide to do something in motorsport, they do it 100%. And that is my philosophy. So it was clear when they decide to come again in the Dakar that I was going to enjoy it.
Well, of course, sitting here in the middle of these 2 cars is, it's maybe when I was teenager where I
I catch this dream to go in a desert once and maybe to say, look, it's just something that will be so cool to drive across the desert, and now to be here and soon to be actor and to drive by myself the steering, it will be a lot of emotion for sure.
Since 25 years, we are designing new generations of rally car every year. Rally cars are not exactly a rally red car, but the way of designing a car is still the same. On this know-how, we have it inside Peugeot Sport.
We need to have really a strong car, fast for sure, but each second that you lose, now it's really important. Before, it was possible to do a big mistake, lose 1 hour, and at the end, won the race. Now it's really a long sprint, but still a sprint.
If we go back to Dakar, it's clearly with lots of ambition. We know that to achieve a victory like we did last year with Pikes Peak, we need a full set of expertise, we need excellent drivers, we need an excellent car, we need a good team, and clearly our target is to have such key players and such a powerful team for Dakar.
If news of the return whetted appetites, then the car's reveal left jaws dropped in admiration. A design based on the 2008 production model, the meaty Dakar version is dubbed the 2008 DKR, and thoughts quickly turned to seeing how this wondrous-looking weapon would perform out in the real world. It was time to test it for the very first time. But not everything runs so smoothly as the design process. After a long delay for a structural fracture, the car's first ever exposure to a racing simulation has proved inconclusive. Work is most definitely still required, and with the Dakar now just 6 months away, the pressure has started to mount. Three weeks later, the round-the-clock work of the Peugeot mechanical crew is put to the test once more. Château de la Stour is a mountaintop maze of tough terrain designed to make or break chassis, suspensions, and ride control.
It looks like that I'm part of the Peugeot team since a long time already, but in a couple of minutes I will go and drive for the first time the 2008.
There's an incredible 17 Dakar titles amongst these three drivers, but Cyril is the only pilot not to hold a driving crown, and the nerves and anticipation are starting to take hold.
It was really long until this moment, but it also, you know, it's a normal time. It's a factory car, it's a factory team. It's the beginning of a long story, I heard, and I guess. It's a nice moment now to be on the right time, in the right place. You know what? I have the best job in the world. Could not imagine that once in my life I will be inside a car like this. Just amazing. It's mixed in between tears and sweat, you know?
It's like a dream to drive for the first time a racing car. And I remember for me the first time it was the same, big smile. And for sure Cyril is really lucky and happy for sure, because for his first time he tried really a factory car from Peugeot. This is really a concept car, a racing car. So yeah, for sure it's like a dream, and I can understand his smile now.
With all three drivers in attendance, optimism is growing that the 2008 DKR is advancing towards a car able to compete in the world's toughest endurance rally.
You are always looking for the perfect car. We are learning, as I say, we have not been yet in the desert. We need to go there, and then we will learn a lot of new things. So at the moment, we keep learning.
We progress a lot, and I think that in a few weeks we will be able to go in Morocco. And yeah, it will be really interesting, because now we just test the car in the normal conditions, so with a jump, with a gravel, but we didn't test with the sand, so we need to go in Morocco. But I'm sure that we will be ready in a few weeks.
I'm really looking forward to start this project. Just a lot of emotion.
As summer turns to fall, the 2008 DKR's evolution continues at pace, and it needs to. The team are now counting weeks rather than months to their South American adventure. But the biggest challenge is yet to come. 2 separate tests in the unforgiving sand dunes of the Sahara, the very same place where the Dakar originated. Now in its full racing livery, Carlos and Stefan are charged with pushing the car as hard as they can. Having reconfigured the car setup a number of times, the general feeling from within Team Peugeot Total is that not enough testing has been accomplished as they pack up in readiness for the ultimate test at the Dakar. In 2015 arrives, and so do over 400 vehicles of various sizes and statures. And 3 particular cars are grabbing a lot of attention. Peugeot's return to Dakar is about to take a crucial step forward. In less than 24 hours, the illustrious brand will be back in action.
It's always nice, you know, the atmosphere is really incredible here. And it's a really good feeling to be at the start of the new challenge with a new Peugeot. It was perfect. I think that every year there is more people, and it's full of people just near the podium. The last 3 kilometers, it's only people everywhere. It's very good.
You can read on my smile, no? It's quite unbelievable. I mean, being in Argentina 12 months ago on a bike and in a top team, And 12 months later, 2015, being on the Peugeot team on this unbelievable car, it's a unique chance in my life, and I catch it and I will enjoy it until the big loop, until Buenos Aires, I hope on 17 January. It's so much fun to drive and so much emotion to go across the same piece, the same track, the same rocks, the same dunes than I was doing on a bike. But now I have a proper car and I have a good co-driver also, which help a lot.
The moment has come. After 25 years away, Team Peugeot Total are back in the Dakar. Cyril makes an understandably tentative start to his new driving career as he puts some valuable kilometers under his belt. But old hands Stefan and Carlos drive the only way they can, as aggressively as possible with foot to the floor. And it works. Five-time car champion Peter Hansel comes home 10th fastest, 2 places behind the 2010 winner Sainz. The rally might be in its infancy, but Peugeot are already amongst the frontrunners.
We are 8 today, tomorrow is not so good for us starting 8, but I think it was okay just to warm up and good, happy, and yes.
There's a dark side to the Dakar rally that every competitor knows could one day hit them hard. Long days leave body and mind exhausted. For Carlos and co-pilot Lucas Cruz, Stage 2 was one to forget. For once, racing became a secondary consideration. A bike rider mistakenly turned into the direction of traffic, and car number 304 hit him head-on. The traumatic accident left the affable Spaniards shell-shocked as they brought their vehicle home hours later.
It was coming opposite direction quite fast. Unfortunately, it was a very close area with no visibility, and basically I went off the road and he hit me already when I was off the road. So most important thing is I hope it's okay. I will go now to check with the organizers, and I hope it's fine. I stopped the car and I jumped to the car to see what happened with the rider, and called directly to the PC course to explain what happened with the race, and send the helicopter immediately, and we stayed with the rider.
Stage 3 gave both leading Peugeot pilots the chance to shake off unfortunate time losses from Day 2, with Stefan finishing 7th and Carlos moving the 2-wheel drive car up to 4th overall. It's early days, but the legendary French marquis is starting to impress. Competitors bid farewell to Argentina and enter Chile at full gas until all 3 grind to a sudden halt. Carlos suffers the most with the loss of turbo drive, enabling his rivals to stretch their advantage. Worse is to follow when car 304 encounters the rally's first sand dunes, ensuring a 1:30 a.m. arrival at the BWAC, and just 3 hours sleep before Carlos and Lucas do it all again. Mechanical delays further hamper Cyril's attempts to attack the top 20 cars, but Stefan is flying, grabbing the lead on several occasions to reward the hard months of work for the Peugeot crew. He mistimes a jump, though, to lose the lead, but still finishes within 6 minutes of the stage winner.
We did 5 days now. Not a big problem, nothing at all. I'm not really happy with my technical driving. I did too much mistake, but the car is okay.
Chile has been cruel to Carlos. Realistic hopes of a second Dakar title were dashed on stage 4, and poor visibility one day later sees him roll his vehicle in a high-speed collision with a rock. The car is obliterated, and so are his hopes of finishing the race.
Towards the end of the stage, we were catching a quad. We were on the dust of the quad. We were trying to get closer to activate the Sentinel. And we found a really big storm very close to the road. Couldn't see it and just flip over a few times. You know, sometimes things like today happen and you miss many storms many times. This time I catch it. Well, we are fine. Very disappointed, obviously, but fine, which is important, and Lucas as well. That's it. End of the Dakar for us.
Team Peugeot Total are now a 2-car team. Carlos and Lucas are heading home. To lift the mood, Stefan continues to flourish in the 2008 DKR. The sprint to the Pacific coast at Iquique starts well, with Monsieur Dakar again taking an early lead. But once more, the gods are not smiling, and after a loss of 20 minutes, he has to settle for another top 10 finish. Stage 7 was special in more ways than one. Stefan and Cyril have to go it alone on the rapid ascent from sea level in Chile to over 4,000 meters in Bolivia. Altitude sickness is common, with severe headaches a notable symptom. The pressure mounts further as there's no mechanical support on this marathon stage, so those in the cockpit are able to carry out repairs. But what will cheer them is the long line of color as they enter Uyuni. A legion of flags and smiles make this a warm welcome at the end of a grueling day.
Yeah, the last 15 kilometers is incredible. A lot of people. It's really nice to feel the atmosphere here. Yeah.
The customary early start has a solitary feel to it. No mechanics buzzing around the breakfast room, just the surviving drivers, refueling tired bodies and minds. The salt flats of Uyuni lie in wait, and so too does a long overdue rest day back in Iquique.
And then we have a really nice breakfast in the morning, as you can see. Pasta. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Welcome in Bolivia.
Stefan and Cyril return to Chile with 8 of the 13 stages completed. Their cars are still performing too, and the mission now is clearly to get both back to Buenos Aires without further problem. Stefan's consistency shows some reward, with a placing of 8th overall. Cyril's position of 41st sums up his predicted steep learning curve.
We're very pleased to be here with 2 cars in good shape. After 8 stages, 5 remaining. After the marathon stage, after a very difficult stages like the second one, with no major problems with the car. We had more race facts problem than mechanical problems. Then it's very positive for the team. And now we just wish and hope to go to Buenos Aires and to finish with the two cars.
Five-time bike winner but four-wheel debutant Cyril used the driver's rest day to show another future new boy around his machine.
Yeah, I lose it much more than before, and then gets
especially in the dunes trying to drive.
Yeah, because you know I'm new in the business.
Yeah.
I don't have your experience.
Yeah. How's it going?
Good.
Good?
Yeah, I enjoy it. This under it's the Erie track. This is from the organization.
How they track you?
Just to follow where you are, and just in case you have an alarm, and you can talk with this. This is
thank you very much.
An antenna iridium, and if you have a big trouble,
crash or they'll come on.
Yeah, and then you can talk with them directly from here to Paris.
Built for me, I feel like. It's really cool to actually get involved and see what this car's like, and you know that's what I want to do is my dream, and to come over, and this is two-wheel drive, and that's why I raced it back in America. So it really correlates and sinks in, and it'd be awesome to drive one of these things.
A brilliant ninth-place stage finish for Cyril contradicts the snapped wheel bolt that marooned Stefan and Jean-Paul's pursuit of a top 10 place in the middle of the Atacama Desert. Although their return into Argentina did go to plan the next day.
Yesterday it was probably the worst day of this Dakar for me, but it's really important because we get a lot of experience from the small problem. Every kilometers that we are able to do, we take some information. We have a lot of knowledge now. So I think that it's the most important thing now is to try to finish the race and analyze everything.
Then, over the following two stages, Cyril cements his place in the top 35, to the delight of his vastly experienced co-pilot, Gilles Picard.
I'm really happy because Cyril is driving faster and faster every day. He learns very, very quick, you know.
Further up the field, Stefan makes one final attempt at cracking the top 10, but time is running out, and preserving the car is now the highest priority. Only 34 kilometers are permitted on the flooded final stage, ruling out any hope of either car advancing their overall position. The return to Buenos Aires has an unusual feel for Cyril. His final placing of 34th is a personal triumph, though, and as important as any of the 5 trophies he won at Dakar on a bike.
Just a simple medal, but it means a lot for me. So much work from everybody from the team. I would like to cut the medal in 70 pieces to give a little bit of a medal to everybody, but we knew before that the challenge will be hard, that it will be tough to compete, and it could be at the end of the Dakar. Here we are. Really happy, honestly. Much more than if I finish second on a bike, you know. It doesn't matter the victory, it's just the beginning of a new career for me, and I'm happy to finish my first Dakar.
And for Stefan, a man who knows what it truly takes to win the Dakar in a car, the relative successes far outweigh the setbacks.
2 cars at the end of the race, no main technical problem. For sure, it was not an easy race. For the first time with Peugeot, it was a little bit complicated. It was necessary to manage every day the situation. But at the end, it's a big satisfaction to see how work the team, you know, all the mechanics, engineers. Everybody was really motivated, did 100%, and it's really a big satisfaction.
Less than a year ago, Peugeot, Red Bull, and Total joined forces. intent on eventually reconquering the toughest race on Earth. Many months of painstaking work has brought them back to this, a successful return to the Dakar, and set the scene for the next chapter next year.